Kia ora team! In this activity we are going to learn how to read the time on an analog clock. Now, there are two main types of clocks that we see quite often in our daily lives, and these are the digital and analog. What we have in front of us here, this is an analog clock, and the digital is the one that shows the time in digital numbers, such as like this one here. And an analog clock is the kind where there are two moving hands, as you can see. So there's a short one showing the hour and a long one showing the minutes. So let's start by creating our own clock, and as we draw this you can start to understand what each component means. A standard analog clock has the numbers 1 to 12, as you can see. And these numbers 1 to 12 tell us the hour of the day. There are 24 hours in each day, and because there is daytime and nighttime, people often like to use AM to refer to daytime and use PM to refer to nighttime. And I'm sure you've heard people saying school starts at 9 AM and school ends at 3 PM. So let's start creating our own clock using a plate that we can find at home, and let's draw the shape of a clock. At home, you can simply use teaspoon and a regular size spoon to show the short hour hand and the long minute hand. There's also another third hand, as you can see here, which is moving quite fast, and this shows the seconds. If you watch the clock closely, you can see how the hands move. They're all moving at different speeds. So the next thing you need to know is that in 1 hour there are 60 minutes. When the short hour arm moves, say for example from 1 to 2, this means an hour has passed, which also means 60 minutes have passed. So when the short arm moves from 1 to the next number, this long arm will actually make a whole loop around. Okay? The next thing we're going to do is to draw the minute line so you can see how this long arm shows what minutes. Because we already know that in 1 hour there are 60 minutes, we are now going to draw the minutes line on our clock. So remember, these numbers show the hour. So now we need to draw in the 60-minute lines. 4, 5. So we're starting from 0 minutes here. We've got 1 minute, 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes. I'm going to continue drawing. 5 minutes, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you can see between the two numbers there are 4 short lines in between. This one here means 0 minutes. So we're going to keep drawing and fill up these. Okay, so until now we know this starts from 0 minutes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's 5 minutes. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, you'll notice that for every time we skip to the bigger line, we're counting up in fives. Okay, so we've got 15 minutes, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. So when the short arm moves from one number to the next number, the long arm will actually make an entire loop around this clock. Okay, so say for example here, the short arm is pointing to 3. So we know that the hour is 3. We're just going to use this dot to separate the hour and minute. The long arm is at the very top here, so we know it's 0 minutes. So we know it is currently 3 o'clock. When the short arm moves from this one to here, this long arm is going to keep moving. So when the long arm is pointing to 30 minutes, the short arm will be just about halfway between 3 and 4. So one part you might get confused is, so when the short arm is here, does that mean it's 4 o'clock or is that 3 o'clock? Just remember, before the short arm arrives at the next number, it still belongs to this number, the hour before. So whenever the short hour arm is within this range, before it gets to 4, the hour is still 3. When the short arm moves from one number to the next number, we know that 1 hour has passed because this is the hour arm. Moving from here to here will take 1 hour. Moving from here to here will take another hour. And because in 1 hour there are 60 minutes, so that means every time the hour arm moves this much space, the minute arm will actually make an entire loop because there are 60 minutes. The minute arm has to show how many minutes have passed. One part many of you get confused is when the short arm is somewhere between, like here, like if it's not sitting exactly on the hour arm, you might wonder, so which does it mean 3 or does it mean 4 o'clock? When the short hour arm is moving within here, it is still the 3rd hour. When the minute arm is halfway around the loop, the hour arm will be somewhere in the middle here. So now it is 3:30. It's not 4:30 because the hour arm hasn't arrived at 4 yet. It's somewhere between 3 and 4. This is halfway. This is halfway, and the minute arm is also halfway around the circle. If we now look at the time, the hour arm is still within this range. It hasn't arrived at 4 yet, so the hour is still 3. And you can see the long arm has just passed this 9 over here. If we compare it to the chart that we wrote before, this space here will be 45 minutes. So 45 will be here. It's one more, so 46, and now it's getting towards 47. So now the time is 3:47.